You're right there, YouTube. It is Crackoon again, bringing you another gameplay. Commentating man, we're here again, bringing you some more Modern Warfare 3 like I do. Going to be playing a ground war, kill confirmed, on the map Outpost, using the G36C, dual attachments, suppressor, and a red dot sight. Running the perk setup, Slight Van Pro, Hardline Pro, Marksman. Kill streaks wise, I'm running the Precision Airstrike, the Reaper, the Pave low. I've got flash grenades, bouncing betties on there, getting straight off to a death air. I tried to play the rope-a-dope with this son. It's like, oh, I see one deep. I've thrown my flash grenade, oh, I've taken damage. Oh, I know he's going all the way around there, and then sometimes he just gets to drop on me. Shit happens like that, you got to take it for what it is. But beasting, man, doing it like I usually do. I go 67-6 in this gameplay. I mean, I'm trying to get absolutely rape gameplays these days. Like, seriously, I'm trying to get off the chain gameplays. But I don't know, it takes time to, like, work up to gameplays. And, like, you need luck at the same time. You need to get them good lobbies with bad players willing to not shoot down air support. That's the only way you can get big kill games. It's undeniable. I mean, granted, you may get the lucky occasion in which you're against total scrubbing noobs and you'll be able to rape them off with the specialist and get like 50+ kills, something like that. That's on a variable though. You can't get that on a constant basis. I'd like to see somebody say, or I'd like to see somebody try and go like 40 to 50+ kills every single game with just using specialist. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. There are probably people out there, but on an average, it's pretty impossible. I'm not gonna lie. Without like backing out of one or anything like that. You know what I'm saying like that. But anyway, that's not my point. I want to get onto a little topic today, right? And it's an interesting topic at that, but it may be considered a little bit controversial by some. To me, because I'm an ace of what's the word now? I'm an ace of all suits. What is that? Is that the word? Jack of all trades. Actually, that sounds. I like ace of all suits better. Maybe I'm pretty sure it is called jack of all trades, but ace of all suits. You know what I mean? Like an ace and the deck of cards. That sounds well better than jack of all trades, man. I'm an ace of all suits, right? So I go across the board and everything like that. But essentially, what I want to talk about. Defensive gameplay versus offensive gameplay, and more specifically in Modern Warfare 3, just based around Modern Warfare 3, because I don't want to compare it to other games, because in every single game, like, values of defensive gameplay over rushing gameplays, they always change. For instance, just a quick example, in Black Ops, I mean, defensive gameplay was extremely easy to do. There was no fuss about it at all, whereas in rushing was kind of more of the harder task or the harder challenge, you could say, to like try and rush with low kill streaks and get beasting kills and stuff like that. And as I said before, I'm an ace of all suits, so I mean, I go across the board. I mean, I rush, I play defensive, I play stick and move, I play all out reckless rushing. I mean, there's all different variables in different scenarios, different situations, and it's just the way I do. But in Modern Warfare 3, the game has changed, right? Because Modern Warfare 2, for instance, and this is just going back to another comparison between the two. Modern Warfare 2, the maps and the whole game, just the whole game scenario, it gave you enough room to be able to play defensively, and defensively did have a good value, because I mean, defensively equaled nukes, equaled pure raping, just like, murking people off in kill streaks. I mean, getting them big 70 kill games in Modern Warfare 2, this is. I mean, that was a good value. I mean, defensive gameplay in Modern Warfare 2 had a good value to behind it. And the same went for rushing. I mean, rushing was a high game in Modern Warfare. Not a hard game, a high game. Or, I don't know, a hard game. Whatever. Rushing was a good game in Modern Warfare 2. I mean, it was interesting, really, because the map still gave you enough movement and enough fluidity to be able to flank and like outmaneuver enemies and stuff like that. But you also had like, you also had them smaller maps as well, which were purposely built for close quarter combat, and rushing was literally the only thing you could get away with doing, full stop. So I mean, you got to take it for what it is. But what I'm trying to get at here is, within Modern Warfare 2, there was variables across the board. I mean, for instance, what was it called? Derail, right? Derail was like the biggest map I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it's reminiscent to Outpost of what I'm playing on now, but probably even bigger, right? And the fact is, right, you couldn't really rush on Derail. It was possible to, but you couldn't really rush on Derail. And then like it goes down to like Rust or something like that. You could play defensive on Rust, but would you be as effective as if you were just rushing, you know, using an SMG and that? I don't know. Some people may beg to differ in that. And this is what I'm trying to get at, right? There's no variable of it within Modern Warfare 3, if you understand what I'm saying. There's not a single map in which... well, maybe bar this, but I mean, even still with this, right? For playing defensive on this map, it's straightforward enough, but people tend to hate this map anyway because of its kind of maybe poor design. I mean, understandably, it's a lot easier to lock down a map like this with extremely long sight lines, only a few different routes of getting to different variation points of the map, or whatever you want to say like that. You know, there's a lot of sight lines on flags, so I mean, defensive gameplay on this map is relatively easy, but I mean, as it goes, like for all the other maps and stuff like that, I mean, defensive gameplay is kind of considered more valuable in my eyes anyway. I see it as being more valuable because I mean the smaller maps, they kind of, well, they are a trait to rushing. I mean, that's a given, but I don't know, it's when it comes down to it, it's a whole interesting factor is in like most of the maps in this game, Modern Warfare 3, are designed for rushing. So when like you get them maps where you do play defensive and absolutely beat people off, then it has like a greater value compared to maybe a rushing gameplay. And I mean, this is where I'm interested to know. Let me know in the comments below, like I want to hear some of your thoughts about it and stuff like that, because it is like, this is going to be an ongoing battle through like throughout the end of time, through our Call of Duty. Rushing defensive versus offensive, or rushing versus camping. I mean, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's always going to be there. There's nothing you can do about it. People's play styles aren't going to change. I've learned to live with that, right? And I've now picked up the skill set to be able to do all play styles and, you know, be able to do both of them. And I mean, there's a lot of people out there that can do the same, but which one has the greatest value? And I don't know, it's strange in a way. This is what I'm trying to get at. That's like the kind of question that I want to ask. It's like, why? No, not why. I don't know. It's like, what's the word? No, I had a proper question like formulated, which made me kind of get onto the topic of wanting to do this in a commentary, but I can't remember the question now at all. It's interesting. Like the game defines whether or not. No, the game defines which playstyle is going to be more worthy or more valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe more valuable is not the right word. Maybe harder to achieve is what I'm trying to get at. Like when it's like with rushing and defensive gameplays in Modern Warfare 3 are a lot harder to achieve. That's why you see, like, that's why at the beginning of the game you got quite a few people moaning and stuff like that. I'm not going to name names, but I mean, it was kind of like a consensus across like a lot of the YouTube community. It seemed as if a lot of people were like, nah, right, the game's bad, the maps are too small, the spawns are fucked, you know. I mean, obviously all these kind of things compile to where it comes from originally, which are the maps. I mean, spawns can only be as good as the maps are, you know what I'm saying, like that. If the maps are terrible and extremely small, then you can't have good spawns because, like I said, the maps are too small and the map's bad, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I don't know, it's interesting, really. It's interesting. You've got to take it for what it is, really, when it comes down to it. I mean, oops, shit, I knocked my mic down a little bit by accident. I didn't really kind of want to go off in a little rant sometime, but I've really been kind of thinking about it, and like, you know, it's been like my whole thought process at the moment. And when I've been actually playing Modern Warfare 3, I feel as if I'm kind of leaning towards a more defensive playstyle at the moment. And I don't know, it's just I feel as if I want to get more defensive gameplays, but when I need to rush, I'm more than capable to do it. But I don't know, like I said, you've got to wait for the right time to get them rushing gameplays, because I mean, like I said, defensive is maybe harder to achieve, but I mean, rushing all in all is the hardest skill set to have, you know what I'm saying, like that. So you got to take it for what it is. Here I keep on hitting some weird ass lag or some shit like that. I don't know, it's just like, I hate it when this glitchy shit goes down. I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to go off into another complete and utter rant now, terrorising and shit like that, but just have a look at the score limit right here for a second. 53 to 40, and that's been a whole 10-minute game. Shows you, like, the concept of what these players were trying to achieve with this and how they went about it and stuff like that. I mean, you got to take it for what it is, really. Here you see like a little bit of more, like I don't know what's going on really, for no fairness, but tell me if you've ever seen like a least amount of score in a game or whatever you say like that. I don't know what you call it. What's the word now? I don't know. A game that's gone on for this long with the least amount of score or whatever. Pardon me, I did silent bird there. You might have heard that one. Whatever. That's all I've got to say for now and peace. Let me know in the comments below about the Russian defensive valuable whatever.